Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Iman Show. My name is Iman. I will be your host today for the next 90 minutes, and we will talk about happiness. I'm so glad to be here with you again, and it's a little bit different timing today. I am trying to find a suitable best time for the show that we can have the most engagement rate, and sometimes I change the time to time to see what is the best time for most of us. Also, yeah, this is Friday night. Happy Friday night. And I see my old friends are joining. Hello, hi. So, how are you doing? Where are you joining from? Let me know, where are you watching me from? And meanwhile, I will tell you that today again we talk about happiness. And as previous Fridays, and simply we talk about happy list. I asked you guys a couple of weeks back to create a list of things that make you happy. That sound to be simple, but it's really effective. And we will work on the list, and we will expand our list, and we talk about it. But so we start with the list. So if you haven't done it yet, please grab a piece of paper right now. We're sitting together here, and make a list of things that make you happy. It doesn't need to be crazy stuff. You can start with simplest things like a cup of coffee, watching your children playing, or thinking about your mom, or anything like this. I recently discovered new stuff, and this is something interesting, that when you start writing your list and think about it every day, from time to time, you can add new things to your happy list. It's interesting that there are things that I knew that it makes me happy, but never thought about it, and I discovered new stuff. And it's so simple. Honestly, being happy is not that complicated. There are reasons to be unhappy out there, so many of them, that we try to get over the reason for unhappiness. But happiness doesn't need a reason. It's your statement. It's your default statement. I learned that clean sheets make me happy. I don't know if anyone resonate with that, but clean sheets makes me like really good, really happy. And you change the sheet, like bed sheets are beautiful. Yeah, that's as simple as it is. So let's continue. Let's start our talk with our friends. I am so looking forward to talk to new friends with new time zones because so we changed this. I'm looking forward to get to know you all. Ali Sadiqi. If you're here, Ali Sadiqi, you want to join? Please leave a comment so I can join. I can invite you. Hmm. Yes, clean sheets, of course. Honestly, I mean, this is as simple as it is. Clean sheets. And yeah, I have Ali in my list. I'm waiting for him to. Okay, yes. I pin your comment so it's easy to be found. And here we go. Hello.
Hi, Iman. How's it going?
Hi. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I never done this before, but wanted to appreciate what you do. I think I came across your videos during the pandemic. What you do is pretty special, and I wanted to kind of send my gratitude to you
Oh,
for what you're
awesome.
doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is exactly what I did it. I started during pandemic. I I was so angry. I was so desperate and I didn't know what to do. I know that things are going wrong and I say, oh, if you don't like it, do something about it. And that's how I started. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Would you please introduce yourself? Let us know where are you connecting from?
Yeah, my name is Ali. Last name is Siddiqui. I'm from Vancouver,
Mhm.
Canada. I live here in Toronto, so I'm Canadian. Yeah, I'm co-founder of the tech company, and yeah, that's basically it. You talk about happiness. I love to jump in. If
Absolutely.
you know, if you wanted to start a subject, if you have any questions, I'd love to jump in.
Well, yeah, thank you so much. My fellow Canadian Iranian friend, Ali.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so Fridays we talk about happiness and
yeah.
like a simple question. If you want to make a list of things that make you happy.
It's kind of interesting. You mentioned the clean sheet. I I I try to see what makes me happy for the longest period of time. I mean, that was my question for the longest period of time. Like, what is happiness, and how can I be happy? Because in any situation you're in, you can be happy. It's just state of mind. And any situation you can be sad. Like you can literally say, "This is not the place I wanted to be," and I'm not happy. So it's for me, it's a very state of mind, and happiness is so general. I think we pursue happiness, but if you have gratitude, that's the true happiness.
Hmm.
So list of things that makes me happy. I mean, from the start of the morning, I'm still breathing. You know, I can get up, I can get to work, I can work out, I can pursue my dream, whatever it is. All those things makes me happy.
Hmm.
As older I get, little things, you know, having my parents around. Like I was telling to other friend of mine, like when my mom is here, thankfully, like when I go home and when I go to her place and she cooks for me, that makes me super happy.
Of course it does.
So it's just like as you get older, I think like the time becomes more limited, and you want to enjoy the things that you do. And as long as things are half okay, and you're healthy and breathing, that makes me happy.
Hmm. Yeah, so you mentioned your mom, of course. The gratitude, I guess it's not my opinion, it's the AI answer. They ask
Yeah,
AI what is the one word thing to the secret to happiness, and the AI respond gratitude.
gratitude.
But yeah, so your question about so what is happiness and how we can get it. Do you remember some, like the exact time that you were happy?
Um, yeah. I think back in 2015, I went to Thailand for New Year's, and I think one of the nights that I was walking back home, I was walking along the side of the water, and I heard the water, and you know, I had to get home, get to sleep, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a moment, sit on the rock, and just hear the water, the
Hmm.
sound. down a wave. And I think the last time I truly felt happy was then. If I think about it, the last time. Yeah, as you say, it might be AI. I'm in tech, so my answer might be AI related. But yeah, the last time truly I felt happy was then. I'm like, man, this is great.
You were present at the moment. You were all present. That you were nothing, no thought in the future or past. I think when we think about happiness, any of us, when we remember the exact time that we were happy, life behaves the exact way that we expected in that moment. Everything is just so we don't need like a expensive car or a promotion or a hug date or like a helicopter or something. Life behaves the exact way that we expected, and that's makes us happy. And that is it has a key point that so I can change my expectation in order like to align with life behaviors. I cannot change lives. I cannot change life behavior, but I can change my expectation, and I will keep my happiness status.
Exactly. I 100% agree with you. I think one thing I started doing, and I think my career got better, life got better, is just like having very small goals in the morning and say, hey, I wanted to achieve these, no matter what they are. Maybe it can be like, I have a cup of coffee in the morning, and as I'm going through them as a goal, regardless how big or small they are, and I cross them off and I get them done, that makes me happy by itself. Like when the day is ending and I think about the things I written down and I achieved, no matter how small they are. It can be like, I went to the gym today, or I don't know, I had a good meal. I had salad. Like I wanted to have a good salad today, and I made it happen, and I crossed it off. I think that makes me happy.
The sense of achievement.
Sense of achievement. I think that's very important. I went through a lot of changes for the past 2-3 years, like personal life, friendships, career-wise. I think that's one of the things that I learned. I'm almost like 40, so it's funny. Like it clicked in almost, maybe I don't know how long I will live in. Maybe it's half of my life, maybe less, but it clicked in a little bit late to have just small goals, and when I achieve them, I'm truly feel blessed. I'm like, hey, I made it happen.
And you were happy. I mean, I can promise you, at the very first ages, we all are like a fresh product of the factory. We are, the setting is all good. We are happy. We're just discovering the world at very first, maybe 1 or 2 years. We just, like, imagine, have you seen a baby, a newborn, looking at his hand and just discovering the world, like how this is the sense of achievement. Oh, I see. I can change. I can move my hand. That makes them happy. This sense of achievement every day. Thank you so much, Ali John. That was really nice to talk to you. Hopefully, you can join back. And it's always good to have male perspective. I see that many of my friends are appreciating your point. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks so much for your time.
Of course.
Keep what you're doing, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. So the sense of achievement, it doesn't need to be a big one. You set a goal, you reach the goal, you feel happy. But I think it's not it could be tricky. Don't set your goals too high, or the trying must make you happy, not the achieving, let's say. If you put all your efforts in and detach from the result, that is the best approach to the expectation that we talk about. Alrighty, so we are now going to let's talk to the friends. Yes, I'm in Toronto, and I'm waiting for my guest to join. San Diego. Okay. I saw many different places. I think my guest cannot join here. That is so scary what you said. One of our friends says success is the key of happiness. It's not. It's the opposite. Happiness is the key of success. That is very important. When there is just one gold medalist, it doesn't mean that the rest of the players must be unhappy. Happiness is the key for success, but not the other way. Success is an illusion. Success is relative. I might be successful today, but there is someone more successful than me. Success you can measure it, with numbers, and there is no end when zero and one, when zero is involved. If I have $100,000, should I be happy with my success? What about the other one who has 1 million? What about the billionaires? What about the one? And success that doesn't last long. How many like Olympians do you know that they got the gold medal this year, but 4 years later they are vanished from the professional performance? Success. But when you see it on the other side, so when you do something that makes you happy, you eventually will succeed. These are, so you find what makes you happy and you will be successful eventually. This is the better way, I guess. All right, so let's continue. Nadia Pirzada, I don't know if you're ready. Do you want to join? Please leave a comment so I can invite you. And yep, I can. So I'm waiting for my next guest, but meanwhile, that's something I have it in mind to repeat it from time to time between my guests. So first of all, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. we have a private Zoom meeting. A friend called it private tea party, and it's the paid event, and all the money will go for Ikra Deniz donation. She is a little girl in Turkey. She needs the medication, which is expensive, crazy expensive, and she's in immediate need for help. That's how we started this. I don't know if it's campaign or what, but whatever it is, we are trying to help her. And tomorrow night we have a tea party on Zoom meeting. The entry fee is $15, and you make the donation at her page and send the screenshot, her name, and I will. So our friends will send you the link for the meeting. And if you go to my link tree on my bio, for the name number fourth one is Ikra Deniz. You make a donation there for $15 and send the screenshot to me. You can send it through WhatsApp, and on the link tree you can see my WhatsApp as well, and directly you can send me the WhatsApp and I send you the link for tomorrow 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is for now. So you don't need to pay the money to anyone else, me or anyone else. You just make the donation there, send me the screenshot for $15, and I send you the link for tomorrow. That's it. Oh, there is some. So when you go to my link tree, the first one is vote for me, please. If you take your time to make a free vote, please do not pay because they have options for payment. But just give me a vote, and there is a challenge for like some kind of like I don't know. I will talk about it later, maybe after Ikra. I will bring this up a little bit later. But if you just make a vote for me, that would be great. So let's continue. Thank you so much. And so she didn't join. Let's go with. Hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm famous.
Oh
Hi.
your gosh. Hi. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You guys want to see Joey? Look, he's right here.
Joey.
Yeah, he's cuddling with me.
Okay, so that makes you happy, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Cuddling with your pet. Cuddling with it's real. These are because these are the things that brings you to the present moment. The attention and the love that the pet gives you keeps you hold you like an anchor in this present moment. It doesn't let you go back to the future or the past, so it keeps you here. That makes you happy.
I wonder why you chose the word anchor, but okay. That's interesting.
Anchor because our brain has this mania to just jump in the time, just go back and forth, and every time it's like what they call it, like a hunting bird. Our mind goes forward in the future or backward in the past and bring us bad news, bad memories, anxiety or depression, or just bad thoughts and negative thoughts which are not real because now is real. Future is not there yet, so it's crazy to even, I mean, not be detached, but be worried about it. And past is just an illusion. This memory is not real. There is not there. But this bird just flies away and bring us like a bad news. But this anchor is like something there is a word for that. I'm not sure if I can.
Grounds you.
No. I forgot the word exactly. The thing that they put in in prisoners before, like years ago in movies, they have like a chain.
Shackles.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Shackles.
Yeah.
So pet could be in a shackle for your mind. So I mean, I'm sharing. It was just like it was your turn. Please continue. Yeah, let's start with you. What makes you happy?
Gosh, Iman, you're always trying to control people. Okay, so what makes me happy? So I came on here to specifically talk about this book that changed my perception about happiness. And after watching last time's live, I was slightly embarrassed. I felt like I used too much profanity, so I'm sorry, guys. But the book is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that book is, despite the topic, because a lot of people look at the topic and they're like, we don't like that topic. I should have my stand. Sorry. A lot of people they think that they don't like the topic of the book because it's basically kind of provocative. Like, people don't want to read a book that has the F word on it. But at the end of the day, when you actually give that book a chance, that book is amazing because it disconnects you from the illusions that society shackles us with to be happy. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like there are many times when I was completely happy and not accomplished in life, because when you were mentioning people are like, you have to be successful to be happy. Honestly, I feel like my success took a lot away from my own happiness. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about success is that when you get it, you want more of it. And when you want more of it, you start fearing losing it. And when you start feeling, you start fearing losing it, then you start basically being miserable. So when I think about happiness, it's about setting your own criteria. And that's what that book talks about. Like, that book tells you many people in life, they spend their whole lives thinking that they're failures, and they deem themselves as being miserable or unhappy because of criteria that they haven't even evaluated that they want or not. Like, a lot of times people, like, guys, I teach part-time at a known university in the US, and the US is regarded as like one of the best educational systems. And I have no idea if I'm going to lose my job over this. I don't care. But I do not think everybody needs to go to college. Like, people tell you, if you didn't go to college, that's a disaster. I have seen people who didn't step a foot in a college lecture hall, and they're extremely successful because they wake up every day and they want to do exactly what they're doing. And I've seen people who spent 20 years in education and marked all the lines that society told them that they need to mark. And they're still extremely miserable. They sit in their big castle houses that of course I visit them in. I don't have a house like that. But they're houses that I visit them in, and they have the fanciest cars, and they dress from all the nice brands. But then when I sit with them, they start venting to me. And I hear all the misery in the world. Matter of fact, like, one of the happiest families I ever met in my life, they were the poorest. When I worked in Egypt for 2 years, our janitor was this amazing, simple, uneducated guy. And his name was Yusuf. I called him like Uncle Yusuf, basically. And this guy was great because he was the happiest. Like, every day I would walk in, and obviously janitors, like in Egypt, they have so much work to do and they're horribly underpaid. So if you're talking about someone struggling in life, that's the guy. And I'd also like to mention something about Yusuf. Yusuf has been taking care of his paralyzed wife for 10 plus years at that point when I meet him. And this guy walks in every day with this beautiful smile on his face. He makes sure that he makes all of us feel better. You know, we're all like Mr. Fancy, Mrs. Fancy. We're walking in, and, you know, we look like peacocks, and we're dressed nicely in the nice cars and all that. And we are extremely miserable because we're all comparing ourselves to each other. Oh, who's doing better? Who's teaching better? Who's getting more students? Da, da, da. But Yusuf would walk in every morning, and he would calm us down. He would be like, why do you guys fight all the time? Like, just take it easy. You know, life is beautiful. And our institution was in this beautiful garden in Alexandria, Egypt. We had birds around us. We had trees. And then you'd be like, just look at nature. Look at nature. Just be happy. And when I went to visit him on every Friday, because that's the day off, Yusuf gathers his whole family. He has 4 kids, and they're all married, and they all have kids. So on Friday, they come over to have lunch, because Fridays are holy days in Egypt. So when he invited me, and he said, it would be my honor if you come and have lunch at my place. And my colleague, after he walks out of the room, she tells me, no. Don't go to are you crazy? Are you going to go have lunch with them? And I said, yeah, I'm going to have lunch with them. What's wrong with that? They honored me. They invited me to their home. My colleague was like, oh, they live in this bad, poor neighborhood. Like, if you step foot in that neighborhood, you're probably going to be kidnapped the first 2 minutes. And I said, you know what? Being the daredevil I am, I said, I'm going to go. If I get kidnapped, that's my destiny. And I might just end up having so much fun and never forget that moment. So I'm going to go. Because if that environment that he came from was so bad, he wouldn't be this kind. There must be something good in his environment that made him this way. So I said, I want to go and check that environment out. I went on that Friday, and I had the best day in my whole life. They had extremely simple food. They lived in this very small home. It was almost like under the staircase, literally. And it was very small and very poor. And when I looked at that place, it didn't feel poor to me at all. Because when I walked in, I felt this like extreme love and warmth and happiness fill my heart that I started tearing up. And then he freaked out because he's like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why are you crying? Did we do something wrong?" And I said, "No, you're telling me, you're showing me exactly what I needed. Like, it's like I walked in and I didn't even know that's what I needed. You know, so I don't know, something is wrong with our society. We're missing love. We are terribly missing love, and industrialism and our constant need to have something. I feel like marketing and advertisement and media and fashion, they are really messing with our heads. You can never be happy. I can never, as a female, I can never be happy because my skin is never good enough. My body is never good enough. I never have enough clothes in my closet. And it doesn't matter how much weight I lose, I'm never going to be as skinny as that Victoria's Secret model. So it doesn't matter. I'm never going to be happy because they're trying to put you in that race. They want you to keep racing because you racing and you buying is their living.
So we're trying to change it now here. That's what we're trying to do.
You're asking me?
No, this is the reason that we are talking about this topic here every day, every week. That is why, I mean, I was there where you are maybe a year ago and maybe way more than a year ago. And I was just angry with all the things that you said. I was one of the victims, of course. I was one of the consumers. And this is it. All this, everything happened for a reason after maybe a year now. So this is it now. People are watching, they're listening. And it's not about happiness. Again, like that's a simple mistake to bound your happiness with success, with wealth, with education. I don't mean that they are bad values. Of course, education is respected. Of course, money is good. Lack of money is misery. Of course, that's for sure. You cannot talk about spirituality with someone when they're hungry. But there is a plateau after like a certain amount of money. It's not my opinion. It is a fact. There's a research numbers. The sense of well-being reached to a plateau after somewhere between like $50,000 to $70,000 a year. And how many super rich people they swim in money and then they are miserable, or they commit suicide, or their life is like worse than a war itself. But yeah, that's exactly what we're doing here. And I know that there are technically disease illnesses that are caused by this media, like eating disorders. They were not here. I mean, like anorexia nervosa or other eating disorders were not here 200 years ago. They started with this industrial movement and all this fashion stuff and what you say. And the Victoria's Secret super model that you mentioned, they don't feel happy as well, because they're looking for external validation and they look up for that supermodel. And the supermodel look to as I said, when you bound your happiness to something that you can measure, what is your income? What is your that was something super annoying to me. Net worth. What is your net worth? I mean, you cannot afford it. That was my answer. You cannot afford it. But so that's absolutely true.
I do want to add a point to be fair and square. Guys, there are the hippies that are laying on the shores of San Diego. They're high all day. They don't work because they believe that's life. And you've got the brokers in Wall Street chasing day and night, each minute, trying to make as much money as they can. I feel like happiness is like somewhere in between, right? Because like Iman said, like you can't be happy if you're starving. Although you can. I mean, at this point, I can do it. You know why? Because I've tried both. And I feel like in order for you to hit the middle, you have to go to like both extremes first. You can't really say, oh, I don't want money, and be like dervishes dancing and just having people feed you all day and say I'm happy. Well, you haven't tried the other side to really know what you want. So I feel like it's a journey really, and you have to find the balance.
Well, thank you so much, Rana, for joining me. Thank you for being here. It was nice to talk to you as
you're
usual.
welcome. Can I ask you a question before I leave, and then I'll leave, I promise.
Please, go ahead.
I'm really curious to know, how happy were you as a surgeon? And then that's my only question.
As a surgeon, I had my days. I had a lecture, a speech, I don't know what they call it, in a couple of months back in a conference about prevention medicine and lifestyle medicine. There were moments in my career as a surgeon that I felt thrilled, of course, but it's really easy to get into the ego in that moment. And I had my moments that my ego crushed in my career. And I had the blessing to spend almost 2 years with people who had literally nothing. They live in tents. There was not even one building. And after those 2 years, I learned how to look at life and how things, the meaning of life has changed. But I was happy, and for me, it was just a job, like a florist or like a painter. Like doesn't it was not so something. Still is not. But yeah, but I can tell you that today I am at my happiest state ever, or maybe after the first 2 years.
So were you happier as a surgeon or as a baker?
Doesn't matter. It's a job. It's just a job.
Okay. All right, guys, have a great night, and thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Well, yeah. So it's all about balance. If you work too hard, or you focus on your job too much, that would be a miserable life. That's a promise. But if you don't work at all, you feel useless, and you cannot afford your life. Even if you can afford your life, it's not a good feeling as well. Everything is about this pendulum and the balance. I saw that if my dear friend Dr. Norman left a comment. I don't know if he's still here or not, but if you can join me, Dr. Norman, you're here. I would love to hear your input as well. And of course, happiness comes from gratitude. That is the first and the most important secret. Not a secret, but something you need to remember. Okay. Yep. Hello. Hi, my dear friend, Dr. Norman Fried. How are you?
There's happiness right there.
It is happiness. Yeah, it's really nice to see you after it's been a really long time.
Yes, I'm happy to see you.
Happy to see you too. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Please, because some of my audience are now on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. They cannot see you. So would you please introduce yourself before we continue? Oh, I think. Your voice, like sound is not. I think.
But it seems like I'm freezing a lot. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me anyway?
Yes, awesome.
How are you, Iman?
Good, great. Thank you. How are you?
I want to say that I'm good. I enjoyed the conversation about happiness, and I do want to say that I do contend that even starving people can be happy.
in my opinion, because it depends on what you mean by happy. Starving people may be not necessarily starving for food. They may be starving for attention.
Mhm.
Those starving people won't be happy. People who are starving for connection and love, they won't be happy. But a starving person who's hungry, but is filled with compassion and connection with others, and filled with spirit and an appreciation for a higher power, with gratitude for the gift of life that he was given,
Mhm.
can still be happy. I think
Absolutely
it's very
true.
important. I think it's very important that we really define what we mean by happiness. I can tell you that, unlike you, Iman, I love what I do. What I do is not just a job. It is a way of living. It is a lifestyle. Spend hour after hour sitting by the bedsides of sick children, sitting in my office with people who are afraid of their own mortality or dealing with the deaths of loved ones. As painful and as hard as that is, I can say when I leave at the end of the day, I have done something that's changed the face of this world even a little bit. And for that, I experience happiness. But I also think it's important we recognize that happiness comes also from rest. The brain grows through intellect, and the body grows through muscle. But the soul grows through rest and witnessing what goes on in this world through connection and through love. And if you have that, even if you're hungry, your soul is not. Your soul is happy. Those are my thoughts.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not. I mean, that is not a secret that some of the happiest societies in the world, they live in the poorest countries.
Right.
Yes, maybe in some of the places on Middle East or South America, they are happy genuinely because being happy doesn't need a reason. Being unhappy, of course, it there are so many reasons to take you out of this state of happiness. But
Right.
as a let's say, as an expert in grief therapy, do you have a like maybe a golden nugget, a suggestion that how we can practice being present and manage our thoughts? Because of course, when someone go through uh, grief, there are so many thoughts in the future with anxiety, in the past with blame and guilt, and of course depression. Is there something to focus on present and try to even to make death even more understandable? For what do you suggest?
Well, first of all, death is never going to be understandable. I don't believe that our minds can fathom or comprehend something that is beyond our spiritual breadth. And if you think about it, the biblical definition of fathom is the distance between your longest finger and your longest finger. And when you say I can't fathom it, it's as if you can't wrap your arms around it. I don't believe that we were born with the ability to appreciate the death concept. If you remember and you look back at the creation story, God placed Adam and Eve in the garden, and they were there to live forever. They just were not to eat from the tree of the fruit of good and evil. And they went ahead and did that, at which point then death became the punishment. Which means, fundamentally, man was not created with a concept of dying. So none of us really will ever understand it. The best we can do is allow ourselves to become more accustomed to the recognition that it happens. We surrender. And when we surrender, we don't give up. We give over to a higher power, to a higher sense of self, to something that we don't understand but believe has our back in the very end.
That is the exact, I think that is the essence of religion and belief and trust. That so if you don't understand it, there is something else that they will understand. You just feel this gap with your belief. You don't need to understand everything. You just feel this gap with your whatever you trust, whatever you believe in.
Right. So somebody here is saying, Delia Manga is saying we don't die. Now I want to say to you, Delia, that could be true. We really don't know. But we like to believe, at least many of us, that we transform into another way. I have a a space heater in my office, and when it's off, it's got blades. You can see the fan, and when it's on, the fan blades spin at such an incredibly fast revolution, you can see right through to the other side. Sometimes I think about the mortal body versus the spiritual realm that way. That in a spirit world, we are spinning with energy that's so fast, we see right through our loved ones, but they're right in front of us. So we do not die spiritually correct, Lucy, as long as we have that faith. Not every one of us has that faith. We are tested. Some of us discover from the test that there is faith. Some of us are still in the process of learning. And remember, in the Arabic languages and in the Hebrew language, Semitic languages, the word test is nisa, and the word miracle is nes or nis. That inside of the test exists the miracle, literally in the word itself, which means that if we just allow ourselves to show up for the test that God might have given, we will experience the miracle that's hidden within. Mm-hmm. What does it look like? None of us know. But with faith, we have some at least appreciation that we can stay there, follow the path that was given to us, and see it as in some way a gift, not a curse. So you asked me for some nugget for the experience of facing death. There are no nuggets for that. But I can tell you that in the process of 30 years of sitting by the bedsides of dying people and dealing with loved ones who buried their family members, the level of faith that they have that we are not done, this is only just part of the journey, is really what is very soothing in an environment, in a world that is really lacking so much consolation. That we are really just transformed into another way of being. So when I talk about my loved ones who I know are in heaven, I'm kind and I'm respectful because I know they're right here and they hear me. And I say good night to my mom and dad every night because I know that they're around me. I don't want to be rude. Now, some might think that's crazy, but I believe in the energy. I also recognize that in human form, we don't understand it. So I surrender and accept. And what does accept mean, Iman? If you cut it down into an acronym, accept means A, acknowledge the existence of a higher power or a higher self. C, concede to the task we were given, even though we don't want to. C, commune with others who are in the same situation and know our sorrow like we do. E, embrace that sorrow for as long as we need. P, place it where it no longer assaults us or defines us. And T, teach the world what we learned in the process. This is the closest I can come to the idea of accept. That, to me, is a nugget for you to manage the mortality that every one of us faces on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. With that comes happiness.
Thank you so much, Dr. Norman Fried. Thank you for your shares. Always nice to have you. It's been a while, and I missed you, genuinely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so glad to talk to you today.
I'll be on Dr. Phil on Wednesday in California talking about this kind of stuff. So maybe you'll get to see that, and then maybe one day I'll drive up to Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
Go have lunch. All right. Thank you for letting me be on for a few minutes. I appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care, my man. Take care.
Awesome. Acceptance is the first step of dealing with unexpected. About death, I mean, it's kind of like not pleasant to say, but death is one of my favorite topics. I love talking about death because it is a fact. It is a truth that we don't want to see it. And if you see death, I mean, I suggest my friends from time to time, and I'm going to repeat it, that you better have like a 5 minutes, 10 minutes death meditation every morning. When you wake up, take your time for 5 to 10 minutes and sit and just think about death and see how your life will transform to something more meaningful. Death is the best number one life coach ever. And we can talk about death, of course, in a different, another session, but we need to learn that death is not the opposite of life. I saw in the comment that one of my friends said that we don't die spiritually. That's true, because death is the opposite of birth. There are two portal. It's a door. It's just, you enter this physical realm through birth, and you leave it through death. You don't remember how it was before because you were in the womb, and you can remember. Back then, you thought this is the best place to be. Free food, it's warm, it's like cozy. I just let me stay. There is nowhere else better than here when you were in your mother's womb. But really, it was like this. Do you want to go back there? That was a portal brought you here. You had your experience. There is another portal. You don't know what is the other side. You don't need to understand, but when you see the whole process, you don't need to know what is going to happen next. Just trust the process. Yeah. Okay. So again, before we get to our next guest, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Zoom meeting, tea party Zoom meeting. Our friends created this event to help Ekra Deniz. She is a 2-year-old angel in Turkey. She needs medication like yesterday, and she is in immediate need for help. If you use my bio link tree and click on the link tree, you can see her name, Ekra Deniz. It's now name number 4, the link number 4. You make a donation for $15. Make a screenshot, send it to me. On this link, there is my WhatsApp, business WhatsApp. You can send the screenshot to me. I send you a link for tomorrow night, so you can join us on Zoom call. We have some fun stuff happening there. We have some auction. There is an auction too for some giveaways. That would be definitely fun to watch and join if you want. And yeah, that's it for now. And if you use that link tree, the first one is vote for me. That would be nice if you take your time and make a free vote for me, just one, please. Yeah, thank you so much. Let's continue with our guests. There are so many friends. That was a good idea. I think it's good time to time if we can change the timing and talk to our new friends. And all right. Hello. Hey, how are you?
How are you, this man?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Sorry, I was in a call with my sister. Actually, it was with Rana.
What is it?
I was in a call with Rana, Gypsy Soul.
Okay, so how are you doing? Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, I'm fine.
Okay, so would you please introduce yourself first?
My name is Nermeen. I'm from Egypt. I'm 31 years old.
Nermeen from Egypt. Okay, thank you for joining me, Nermeen. We already talked a couple of times before, but my question today for you is, if you want to make a list of things that make you happy, what is the top 3 things on your list?
A list? Actually, I didn't think about this list because every day I make something make me happy. So I don't think I have to do a list. But the most things make me happy that see people happy. When I watch people happy and everything is okay, this make me happy.
Watching people happy. One. Okay. What else?
What else? I don't know actually.
Watching sunset makes you happy.
Yeah.
Hmm. Listening to birds makes you happy.
Sometimes.
Hmm. Watching children makes you happy.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, good. I mean, that's as simple as it is. You don't need to think about it. It's rocket science. That's you just look around and be present, and try to find things that makes you happy. Of course, there are so many, and these are just pokes that like brings us to the moment, and bring us back, bounce back to your happiness. But yeah, so these are simple things.
Yeah. But I have something to say.
Okay, please go ahead.
Actually, it's about you. You every day talking to us, give us positive energy and all this. So, what about you? Are you okay? You feel happy from inside you?
Yeah, yeah. I will be unhappy like about 100 times a day, and I practice, I still learning how to bounce back to be happy again. And I use those opportunities to write them down, to think about them, to know how to deal with them, to to reach to the level of joy which nothing can beat your happiness. I'm still working on it, but yeah, I've never been this happy in my life before, let's say that.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Because we feel happy when we see Iman show. I'm sorry.
I'm sure, yeah.
We feel so happy. So if you're happy, we're also happy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nari. Thank you so much for joining me. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you every time.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, we have Shah Sayed here on TikTok. Let's see if. Hello.
Salam.
Hi, salam. حال شما? How are you doing?
Fine, sir, fine.
Shah, please introduce yourself. My friends cannot see you on Instagram and YouTube.
My name is Sid. I will tell you my full name. My name is Sayyid Mohyuddin Chahat.
Yeah, so we agreed that I'm going to call you Sayyid, right? Yeah,
Right.
let's agree on Sayyid. Okay, so thank you, Sayyid, for joining me.
Right.
And you're joining from Saudi Arabia, right? All right. Okay.
I'm working here in Saudi Arabia. I am an Indian.
Okay, Sayyid, what makes you happy? Top 3 things that makes you happy.
Happiness, happiness is a temporary. Sir. Happiness is a temporary.
It's a what?
So it will not temporary.
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 Mm-hmm.
So it is not always with you. If I am not wrong.
I need to. I want to disagree. I think I have to disagree with you on this. I believe happiness is always there. Unhappiness events those are temporary. They just show up. Some of them are real. Some of them are just illusions, thoughts, exaggerations, assumptions, overthinking. And all the other stuff, they just brings you this new thoughts. Your brain just brings you up, bring this new stuff up, and makes you unhappy. And you need to learn how to deal with them and bring back to this state that the permanent state of happiness. What do
Sir,
you think?
didn't get what I mean. I mean, happiness is a temporary. Happiness always with you
Mm-hmm.
in your full life, from born till death. How to utilize this? It is depend on us. If you are a good human, in my opinion, what others thinking about this, I don't know, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a lot much more experience in front of you because you are a lot of experience.
Okay. No, I'm sure that you have enough experience to talk about happiness. I mean, I really appreciate it, but honestly, happiness, the less experience you have in life, the happier you are. The most, let's say, the happiest people on this planet, they are children. There are, when you watch like a report on TV news, refugee camp, people are living in a miserable life. They just flee their country of war, and they are just, dirty, they're angry, they're crying. In the background, you see these children, they are playing football, they're laughing, they don't care about anything. They're living in refugee camp, but they're happy. So the less experience you have, the happier you will be.
No problem, sir. I have less experience, but when in my opinion, about the happiness, if you are a good human,
Mm-hmm.
if you will help to others, when you will feel good in your heart, so it is the happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you are smiling or laughing, doesn't matter.
You mentioned something really important, because when we have, when there is a happiness practice, there are some illusions, some blind spot, and at the end there are some facts that they bring you joy. And you mentioned one of them, which is really important. It's unconditional love. We are happy by default state. Okay, we have some illusions like control, thoughts, like ego, who are self-knowledge. These are illusions. There are some uh, blind spot in our brain. I mentioned a couple, like exaggeration, assumption, overthinking. These are blind spot. But when you get over all this stuff, there are some facts, truth, and one of them is unconditional love. That when you give unconditional love and live unconditional love, and in that state, it brings you from happiness to joy. So nothing can beat your happiness in that way. And that's being a good, you said, in other words, being a good human, take care of others, care about others, and have no expectation in return. That is the best way.
Right, sir.
Thank you so much, Sayed, for joining. It was nice to see you and see your smile. It's always nice to talk to you.
I have little opinion. So if you will agree, so it is very pleasure to me.
Of course,
And very thanks to you, sir.
of course, of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. All right. And again, today we talk about happiness, and I have a simple question for you. What makes you happy? What does make you happy? If you make a list, there are hundreds of things could be in your list. What is the one thing, two things, maybe three you can share? Simple stuff that makes you happy. Let's talk to a friend who actually arranged, and she's doing great stuff, taking care of this tomorrow's tea party on Zoom, and Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Uzma. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much. So, uh, let's begin with this tea party for tomorrow. Can you
Yes.
please share more information?
Okay, so it's going to happen tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so lots of friends have come together. Okay, the poster is out already. You have seen. Everybody probably has seen by now. And also, our dear friend Julianne, she went ahead and she created a video of herself, which is a pleasure in itself to just watch her British accent and just saying whatever we are going to do tomorrow. It's pleasure listening to her. So tomorrow we are going to people who are the donors. They are going to donate the money and they will just receive the Zoom call code, and then they are able to join. So we're going to have this auction, and then we are going to have some talent show. So some of my friends, they want to crack some jokes. Some of my friends would want to do some fancy dress shows. And Julianne is going to have her own, she cracked me up today in the morning and I told her, you should just do that tomorrow. That would be fun. So guys, just be ready. Hold your ribs and also get ready your cheeks. They are all going to hurt, but make sure that your dentures are glued properly to your gums. Otherwise, your dentures are also going to fall down. So just prepare for
All
tomorrow.
right. And how they can sign up for this event, this tomorrow's event?
So they are going to go donate first, and then once they donate, one of us, Sahar, is going to send them a Zoom code, which they are going to apply. And then
How much is the ticket?
I would say that $15.
Mm-hmm.
$15 is the entry ticket, and then they'll be allowed to come in. If you can do more, most welcome, because this is a cause. By the end of the day, we are saving one life. We have come so far. It was a big journey for the family and for everybody else. We joined the journey later in time, but we were able to push it forward. This is our final effort. We would love to finish it tomorrow. By the end of the day, we are going to try our hardest best. So there'll be an auction, and then there'll be a lot of stuff. You're going to have a lot of fun. I think by the end of the day, not only your heart will be satisfied, but you will feel happy that you have contributed in saving one life.
And
we are going to do
so
that.
when they make the donation, they will automatically receive the code, or
yes, they're going to automatically receive the code. They would have to leave their email address with Sahar, and Sahar would ask them. Sahar would ask them for the email address, and then once they have it, so Sahar will just give them their code. Once they have the code, they will be coming inside our Zoom meeting.
Okay,
and
so
there we will have some. Sorry, go ahead, please.
That's the same link on my bio, right? And there
yes.
you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that link, and then everybody will have a chance. So the discipline of the party, Dr. Imran will decide. So he will be our bigger teacher. He will have like a big stick to spank everybody if they talk too much. So like that. He's experienced in that more than us. So, when you want to say something or you have a joke to crack or something, you're going to raise your hand and then you will be allowed to talk, I suppose. Yeah.
No, I mean, I will be there. I will be a guest. I will enjoy being with you, spending time with all of you, and maybe I can take care of the auction event. Yeah, I can do the auction. I've never done it before, but yeah, I definitely will try. We have a lot of good stuff going to auction. Things that like that would be a win-win-win situation. Some of them you can buy them outside for thousands of dollars, but you can grab them like way with less money, and all the money will go to Ikra, and we're gonna have fun.
The thing is that we didn't have a lot of time to prepare for the event. We only decided yesterday because of the time restraint. We are racing against time because of the condition of the baby, and also we want to have the vaccine to be available for her in a timely fashion. So doing so, we decided to do it yesterday, and today we are ready, and we are just trying to. So many things are going to be very spontaneous. They are not going to be very cliche. If we do any comedy or something happens, it will be spontaneous or on the spot. You are going to enjoy it because of our follies also. Before we are going to make fool of ourselves. We are willing to do that. That's okay. and then everything will just make you laugh, and then that's a promise you will have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So thank you so much. What do you want to answer the question on your happy list?
Yes, I have something. I have actually a couple of things to say.
Okay.
First of all, I have this book. When you were talking about, I read this book. I think lots of people have seen this over the time. I read this book. Now, one thing that was in there, it actually made it very clear to me. In this book, well, he says, Steve Jobs, as we all know him, he says that in his early younger years, he was very confused because he was born and raised in America and then living in California most of his life. And then he was a little bit he was trying to figure out life. He was trying to figure out what he needs to do and what is happiness and what are the answers, what is the purpose of life and all of that. So he decided to just go on that quest. And he was living here in Western world all his life. And he wanted to see something different because he couldn't find the answers here. So what he found here was, what he describes is that the Western world here is living under an immense burden of proving everything. Like 2 and 2 is 4. If there is something happened to your body, what is the reason for that? Let's prove it. Scientifically, we are living under the burden to prove everything scientifically, mathematically, logically. We are dying under that burden. So he decided that, okay, well, this is the way that I'm not able to find all the answers, because at some point the science also, lift up its hands and just, okay, we don't have answers. And mathematics also, it has its own limitations. Then logic also, we are human beings, there is a limit to our logic also. So he decided to travel. So he goes towards the east. So what happened that he ended up in India somehow. I'm not specifically pointing the area, but I'm just saying that when he went outside the West and he decided to travel and find some answers, he went there and he was supposed to meet with some sort of scholar. Unfortunately, the scholar dies when he was sitting in the plane, he was going back. The scholar dies in the middle, and then when he lands, he got the news that scholar is no more. So now he's kind of lost. What am I going to do now? The scholar is lost. I need some answers. I'm completely lost. What to do? He started roaming around in the villages and small, towns and stuff. Started sitting under the tree with people and trying to communicate with them. One thing he discovered, that those people were they were happy. They were content. They were poor. They didn't have proper clothes. They didn't have shoes in their feet. The children were running around in the streets naked. They couldn't afford to feed them properly, but they were content. So he wanted to know that why these people are so content, whereas I am living in California and everything is like available to us and everything is like amazing. So why people are unhappy there and why people are content here? He came to the conclusion that he sat down with this couple of people, and then he tries to discuss with them the matter, and they told him, we don't have to prove anything. Mm-hmm. When you do not have answers to anything, say that God willing. Just leave the responsibility on a higher power and then just call it a day. So if the hurricane comes, you don't have to prove that what is the hurricane and how did it happen and why not. Okay, the hurricane came. If you're supposed to survive, you're supposed to live, you're going to survive and you're going to live. If this is the time for you to leave, you're going to leave. Why do we have to take responsibility for everything which we don't even know the answers? Mm-hmm. Why do we have to do that? We are human beings. We have come on this planet for a short period of time. Whatever we have, I think gratitude is the answer. And we always mix contentment with happiness, contentment with so many other things. Okay, people say that we are happy. There is a difference between the happy and the contentment. Content, we can be all the time. Happy, we can be sometimes. But if you're content, it is the lifeline to happiness also. So this is what it is. Like this was one thing which actually profoundly, I hit me that, okay, this is the reason. And then I start finding that, yes, Western world actually is living under the burden of proving itself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why? We are just, it is a part of curious mind. I understand that. That is fine. But why do you have to take responsibility for everything? We don't have to. Take the burden of the responsibility, throw it away, and learn to live freely. Allow yourself to live free. That is also part of being content and being happy. Accept what you cannot control. Accept it as fate.
Mm-hmm. That is my problem with English. Sometimes there is not the exact word. Content, maybe joy, maybe stillness, I don't know. But there are 3 steps. Start with pleasure, reach to happiness, and land in the realm of joy, contentment, or pleasures. There are good positive pleasure as well. When you say pleasure, people think about like negative stuff. Having a good workout, it's pleasure. Listening to music, dancing, these are like having a good laugh. These are pleasures. These are like boosters that brings you back to the happiness. But if you just intend to these pleasures too much, everything get out of balance. Is not acceptable. And happiness is fragile, as our friend like say it says. It's temporary. It's kind of fragile. It's not temporary. With single things, events will break it down. So now we need to learn how to get to another level, which is joy or contentment that you mentioned. One of the practices is unconditional love. This is exactly one of the, let's say, 4 or 5 things that is truth that's going to keep us there. Unconditional love. The other one is, you said faith. I might say designer. Let's say believing is design. It's not about me. I am a particle of a bigger stuff that's happening. I don't need to know why, how things are going to happen. I just do my part. And when I believe that there is some designer, that there is a bigger picture, so I can keep myself in this joy statement. Well, yeah, thank you so much for your share. Thank you for having this tea party tomorrow. Thank you for inviting me, and I would be happy to be there with all of you.
Thank you for inviting you. Thank you for inviting you. You are the one who is part of it.
This is all your efforts. I will be a proud guest. I will help as much as I
No,
can.
it's not my effort. It's Julianne, it's Rashda, it's Momina, it's so many people, and Sahar at the most. Like, I'm sorry if I'm not able to just mention all the names, but it's a collective effort. That's all.
Well, yeah, thank you so much.
We are just going to make something happen tomorrow. Yes, that's the whole point of it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. Bye. All right. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Zoom meeting, virtual tea party. So tea on you. And if you want to join us, use the link. It's pinned here on Instagram. You cannot click on it. You can see it. But if you go to my bio, Linktree, Ikra Dennis, make a donation, like $15 plus. There's no limit. You can donate as much as you can. And send me or send Seher. You can see Seher's here on Instagram. It's the one that I pinned. Or use the link on my bio. You send your WhatsApp message and screenshot. I will send you the link. Seher will send you the link. We will have it tomorrow at 8 p.m. That would be fun. We're going to have some fun, and we have some auction, which I really recommend you not to miss that one, and so much more. And while you are going there on my link tree, the first one is vote for me. Please vote for me. I have no idea that what is going to happen there, but if you take your time and make a vote on that link, I really appreciate it. All right, so let's continue. I think we can have one more guest. On here. Oh, there you go. Yes, all the lives will be saved on YouTube and IGTV. There's no more IGTV, I guess. It's just Instagram post and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Guys, all my Ayman the Ayman show is now on Twitter with one or maybe no views. You never know. That would be for later, maybe the future. But I don't know why friends cannot join. It must be on my link tree, the vote thing. I don't know. I was not sure if I want to bring it up, but honestly, I mean, I don't know. If it's not there yet, I will add it to my link tree. The first one, I guess it must be there. But yeah, so let's see. We have 6 more minutes. And hello?
Hello.
I cannot see you.
Oh, I don't know why.
No, I mean I cannot see you at all. I mean I don't know if my friends can see you on the screen.
No.
I don't know, guys. Can you see her? I cannot see her. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's see.
Should I try it again? Should I try to do?
Yes. Let's see. I don't know. Let me show you. You can see it. Nothing is here. I mean, I cannot see anything.
I'm just okay. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah. So let's do this again. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with mine. We can see her. That's good. Oh, TikTok cannot see her. Oh, now I can see you. Hi, how are you? Go outside. Go outside. When you come in. Let's just look at the beautiful blue sky. What was that? Oh, yeah, look. It's been raining for 2 weeks in Australia.
Yes, it has. So.
And now you have this beautiful blue sky. See? Oh, and you have a beautiful angry cat. What's wrong with him?
It's like, leave me alone, you need.
Yeah, I mean, the cat was not so in the mood. I mean, it was just show up on the screen. Now what? Hey, how are you?
No, I did just stick my face in his belly and yeah. I'm okay. It's lovely to speak to you and to see everybody else. So, yeah.
So you are now sitting in your balcony. Thank you so much. And you look around. Let me know what makes you happy around you. Just look around.
I have birdies.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
flowers, birds, sky. Yeah. Your pet, your cat is there. What was there? What is this?
Cactus.
Cactus. Okay, you hide your cactus. Maybe it's not the best place to be for the cactus under the chair. You know. Okay. So you're living happiness now, right? You are living happiness.
Yeah, right. Except you look a little bit troubled, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so happiness. I was just thinking about that, and I thought, what a topic to bring up right now. In the last few days, my car, which I bought secondhand, I only paid $6,500 for it. Beautiful Mini Cooper, and I've just done the service on it, and then the head gasket on the car. It's a big job. It's about $5,000 to have it fixed. And I said, I've only paid another $1,500 on top of that. And so I said, here's the key. Here's the registration papers to the mechanic. And I just said, if you want it to be a project for yourself and you want to make someone else happy with it and you want to have the time and that to fix it, give it to someone.
You just give it away.
You know, take it. Because I would have to have the time to have the mental capacity to go have people come and sell and bargain and all that. And I just went, in the conversation with this young man, you mentioned you wanted a project car that you'd always wanted and you like minis. Obviously, you work at a BMW mini garage. I'm going to give it to you. Do as you please with the car. May it make you happy. May it make someone else happy. I don't want anything from you. What I valued the most was my peace, my happiness. And I said, I'm happy without car. I'm happy without those things happening. And even in that very stressful situation, I went and I let it go. Like that. And I could have been, it's not to say that I wasn't stressed and that when I got home I had a cry. Because I just thought, unbelievable. and then I kind of went, all right, that was cool. And it was an unpleasant thing to have happen. And does it make it harder for me to get to my work? Does it make things go and do things? I thought, yes. But what do I have? I thought, I have my health. I could still laugh. I stood there and I just had a laugh with this guy that didn't know whether to cry for me. And I laughed. And I said, may it make you happy. May you be able to have the opportunity to do something you like. But for me, it's not worth the stress and the anxiety. And they said, that's thousands of dollars that you've lost. I said, and did it suck? Yes, absolutely. And I kind of just went, I have good people, very few, but good people in my life. And I said, I would rather be happier. I'm happy now, even with this stress, even with these tears nearly in my eyes. I'm happy. So if I could offer the perspective that happiness can also be the exploration of sadness. It can be the perspective of acknowledging when things go wrong, and it can be the experience of tears and of frustration and of stress. Happiness doesn't always have to be something where you're elated. You're elated and you're on top of the world and everything's going right. Happiness can be the experience of even those emotions handled in the perspective that gives you the freedom to choose where you want to take it. Mm-hmm. And I chose that as being my happiness option rather than being stressed and sad and going, oh, I just spent all this money. Oh, like, and I laughed.
You give it away.
Good.
And that's the secret. That is actually, I think, the golden thing to say. That they say money cannot buy happiness. It can. When you give it away, as simple as it is, you give it away. It makes you happy. It makes the other. You know how many people you made happy with this thing, with what you did.
I just did it. For me, it was like, yes, I cried when I got home. I cried because yes, it was a big financial hit. Yes, I've just done all this work and I'd wanted a mini for a very long time. And
let me ask you a question. That's simple. 5 years from now, do you think that event would be important for you?
I think that will be a little blip. I think it'll be.
Don't cry more than 5 minutes for things that doesn't matter in next 5 years.
Why?
You can cry. You can cry for 5 minutes, of course. My car, yeah, 5 minutes. Okay, done. Because 5 years from now, it doesn't matter anymore.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because look, I had this young man. He said, "Don't you want to sell and do that?" And I said, "May it make you happy." And I said, "I value my and my integrity and the experience of being unhappy, even the experience of being, I still value that. That I can be happy even while I'm experiencing something that is stressful and not pleasant." And I just went, "Here's the key." I took off my house keys, took it up, gave it to him, registration stuff. I don't want it. It's still got 6 months registration on it.
Let me ask you a question. It's kind of like a request, if it's okay. If you please leave a comment so I can pin your comment so people, my friends, can follow you. And you promise that every day you share a piece of your happiness on your Instagram. Either it's your cat, your flower, the beautiful sky, or your cactus. Anyway, if you just share something that makes people happy.
Happy, yeah, like my cat. I don't know. I irritate him to no end because he's sleeping all the time, and I come up to him and turn him over and pick him up and stick my face in his belly, and he's like, "Oh, please."
Yeah, I saw it, and in his eyes was like, "All right, here we go again." This human. Yeah, cats are, because cats actually think that you live in their home. You know, you are. Yeah, they are the owner. But yeah, so please leave a comment. So before we end the session, I want my friends who. Mariana Kufa, how are you? Mariana. Okay, so.
Even when it goes so wrong, and I'm writing the news right now of packing and moving, and my house has boxes everywhere, and it is just, it's not fun, but I can still be even in that horrible situation, and I can still be, you can still be really loving and kind to other people, even when you were stressed out and you've had enough of yourself. That there's that option you have in that moment, tiny moment, to I'm done with it. I acknowledge, feel it, it's there. I'm off, and you go. I'm happy being able to just kind of go, I do have that control, and you have the option to be loving and beautiful to other people.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your share. And it was nice to have you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. I'll sort myself everything out.
Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day, your nice morning in Australia, and the beautiful blue sky.
So just remember, everybody, smile, be nice, be kind.
Be kind. Thank you.
Be kind.
All righty. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for watching me. It's been a pleasure to be with you last 90 minutes. And yeah, here we go. Let me pin her comment. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Zoom meeting, tea party event, charity, donation. Make your donations at my link on my bio, Linktree, Ikra Dennis, make a donation. $15 for the ticket. If you want to pay more, you are more than welcome to do. And send me or send Sahar the screenshot and receive the link for this event. You can send me directly in WhatsApp messages on my link, link tree on my bio. It says WhatsApp business. You can send me the screenshot, and we will have some fun. We have some auctions. We have like talent shows and all the great stuff tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you go to my link on my bio, a couple months back, it was this, I don't know, this program for social media influencers. Someone sent me a link and said you should sign up for this influencer TV kind of thing. I was not sure if I want to do this or not, but anyway, so I signed up for that, and the first step for them is to vote, to make vote for, to see how you connect with your community. They started voting about 2 weeks ago, but that was when ICRA happened, and I was not sure if I want to do it when we are engaged with ICRA's story, because it's too much to ask. Do this and do that and go make donations, and the fact is that they have some payment votes, like you pay for your vote. So I please do not pay for the vote. Just make one free vote for yourself. And if you want to pay something, go make your donation from ICRA. Last 2 weeks, I didn't mention it. I didn't even bring it up. But today I was watching this video it was this piece of, I made a video about it as someone, she said, like Kim Kardashian said that, oh, I have a message for women in business and all this blah, blah, blah stuff. And I thought, so if she is an influencer, things might be, need to be changed. I mean, if she is the one who can advise women in business and all this nonsense, and she is the one that people might listen to, let me bring it up. I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to be and where it's going to land, but if you just make it one vote, and please don't pay for your vote. One free vote, all you have. You can find the link on my bio. The first one is vote for me, and that's it. I don't know how things might be. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you do. Happiness is your birthright. It's constantly there. You just need to find it and protect it. And of course, there are so many things every day happening to take you down from your happiness. We need to learn how to bounce back on our happiness, and we need to hopefully eventually learn how to stay in our happiness state unbeatably. I don't know if that's a word or not, but something that somehow nothing can beat us. And that's joy, pure joy. Unconditional love is a secret key for joy. Think about it. Give without expectation. That's unconditional love. Unconditional love is the only feeling, emotion that is not provoked by thoughts. It's just there. You don't know why. You don't need to explain it how, but you love. Thank you, everyone. Take care of yourself, smile more, and see you tomorrow night at our tea party. Ciao. Let's place this beautiful.